Yeah, downtown Newburgh to Evansville Regional Airport here in Indiana. Interesting stop, but it did stop before the threshold. Gorgeous downtown Newburgh, Indiana, right here on the riverfront. Got a little bump here in the road. FSD did slow down nicely for that. Good response, nice and smooth, predictable, and comfortable. What do you say?
Yeah.
Yeah?
And I like that it wasn't so slow that it was annoying.
Yeah, it didn't slow down too much, just right. And it is definitely fall here in Indiana. As you can see, there are leaves everywhere. We're actually on a 1,300-mile road trip right now. We drove out here from Arizona. FSD did most of the driving. At the time, we were on 14.1.4, and they had just introduced the obstacle avoidance and pothole avoidance, and it was sporadic. It was a little unpredictable. 75, 80 miles an hour. It was dodging potholes pretty aggressively, and when you aren't expecting it, it can definitely surprise you a little bit. So we're hoping that 14.2 will make some of the pothole dodging a little smoother. And then we also had some leaves blow in front of the car a few times, and the car had slowed down pretty hard for those. So looking forward to seeing if there's a little bit more tolerance for leaves and potholes with 14.2. Maybe a more comfortable ride home. So far, we're in chill mode. The speed limit's 30. We're going 2 over. Do have a little bit of a line behind us here. They look a little anxious, so let's bump it up to standard here, just so we don't upset the people behind us. Going up to standard. So far we're at 5 over. It's probably not bad, seeing that there may be some police up ahead of us. Speed limit change 45. We're still seeing 30 here on screen. And there's the speed limit detection. We're up to 45. Nice. Real smooth. Good detection so far. Good decisions. Seems like maybe the speed thresholds for the different driving profiles have maybe come down just a tad. I noticed in 14.1.4 that in sloth mode a lot of times it would go to 2 to 5 miles an hour over, and then in standard it was going 5 to 7 over. Right now it's just doing 3 over in standard, so hopefully that means less speeding tickets for everybody. What do you like about the latest FSD updates? The 14.
I don't know. It's only been like 5 minutes.
Well, you had the whole road trip out here.
No
comment.
Really no comment. As a passenger princess and not really one experiencing what it's like to be behind the wheel, I can't tell you.
You don't have any comments as a passenger?
I mean, I can make the same comments you did about the swerving for the potholes at high speed is kind of silly.
Didn't like that.
Yeah. It was unnerving. Otherwise, it was smooth sailing.
It's pretty impressive, I think. Other than the potholes and the swerving in the leaves, right?
Yeah.
Alright. Merged down to the freeway. Pretty nice. Clean, smooth. Going 5 over. And standard. Good space between us and the car in front of us. I appreciate that. It's one thing that FSD 13 wasn't the best at, was the following speeds. Remember that? It was always really close, yeah.
I like that.
And with as expensive as the windshields are to replace, whether you're getting them replaced under insurance or not, you'd think that the engineers at Tesla would create a little bit more space between vehicles to help prevent the windshield damage, right?
Yeah. It's like,
Very
hey,
nice.
this car wants to get over it. It's slowing down. Let's get out of the way.
Confident.
I appreciate how polite it is.
Yeah, like right now we've got a vehicle to our left, maybe 1 or 2 car lengths behind. This guy's merging. It's not cutting off the left lane vehicle, and it slowed down for this merging vehicle. That was handled well, and we'll see if it decides to take the left lane now that it's clear. Nope, it's just going to stay behind this person. They've picked up speed. Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. It's nice that FSD isn't so reactive that it's just changing lanes only to get back into the same position and to its original lane again. It did do a little bit of that in 13.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
Yeah, it can embarrass you. Like you don't know what you're doing.
No.
It's definitely been interesting to see how FSD works out here in the Midwest compared to Arizona, where we really don't have the blowing leaves. We've got pretty nice roads, no ice or snow in the winter, so we don't get the potholes and a lot of the repairs in the road that you see here.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Different challenges here that we don't see at home. We do have an interesting situation here that you don't see in the West much, where you have two speed limits, one for trucks, the other for cars, 65 for trucks, 70 for cars. And interesting thing is FSD is not reading the car speed limit. It's still showing as 60 miles an hour for cars. I'm gonna bump it up here to hurry.
Bump it up.
We are bumped. Now we're riding at 70, even though Tesla thinks that our speed limit is 60. We should report that, huh? Report to Tesla that the speed limit information on this highway is incorrect. There's actually two speed limits, one for trucks and one for vehicles, passenger vehicles. So we've got a big truck kind of making their pass here. No hesitations, really confident and smooth. Making some space for this truck here, let off by a few miles an hour. It's good, well handled, polite. Wouldn't mind a little more room between us. Still reading 60 mile an hour on the speed limit for us. Slight improvement could be made there, I suppose. Being able to discern between passenger vehicle and truck speed limit signs. Only downside to really having to have to increase my speed by going into a different drive profile is that it could be a little bit more aggressive with lane changes in the hurry mode, and maybe even a lesser of a gap between the vehicle in front of us. Right. It does see that we're at 70 miles an hour now, so interesting that it would make that discernment now as we're getting off. Bring it back down to the standard driving profile, not speeding. Well, that freeway experience was pretty good so far.
Yeah.
That was really smooth.
Felt very nice.
I would say smoothest so far. Okay, unprotected left turn and right. Very nice. Doing pretty good, just sticking to 5 miles an hour over the speed limit. Really nice, slow and soft braking. I like that. I would give that a chauffeur quality stop rating.
I would say that was incredibly smooth. I almost didn't realize that we had stopped.
Pretty nice. We like that. That is my ideal version of FSD. You know, obviously there's those days when you're in a hurry, but on most days, as a passenger, when I'm not driving especially, I just want a really nice, smooth, predictable, chauffeur-like ride that isn't tossing me around and making me car sick, you know. We're both sensitive as passengers, aren't we?
Yes.
Okay. It does notice the threshold being on this side of the tracks, so that was good. Interesting markings on the road here that did not confuse the car. Very good. Nice smooth left. Definitely a lot of markings on the road back there that I could easily see confusing previous versions of FSD, or at least making it hesitate. You know, the wheel wobble. There was really none of that at all. Didn't really sense any type of hesitation. Really gives me a lot more confidence as a passenger when I see it dealing with those scenarios a lot smoother. Still in standard mode, speed limit's 55 and we are doing 5 over, so nice and predictable, consistent.
Yep.
Energy consumption, wow. Looks like standard and chill mode have both been doing pretty well with energy. 1.3% less, 1.1% less driving.
We got no range tips because we're driving optimally.
Interesting. That's the first time. That's a good call out there. First time I think we've ever seen no tips under range tips because FSD is driving optimally. Pretty cool. One thing that's kind of interesting is I wonder how much time Tesla spends as they're updating FSD and its abilities. I wonder how much time and energy they spend trying to make it more efficient and making better use of the battery.
I would probably see it as a priority. I feel like they're all about efficiency.
Yeah, I can see it both ways where, you know, there's the race to just get a smoother ride and it handling more conditions more confidently and that being kind of the focus and maybe deprioritizing efficiency. But maybe there's a world where they can work on both at the same time, and they do. Either way, it's broken away from the trend line pretty nicely. We are now approaching Evansville Regional Airport. I don't even think that we set any kind of, let's do curbside. Let's see what it does if we go curbside. There's been a lot of talk about maybe being able to text and drive in version 14.2 at some point. What do you think of that? Do you think you'd be texting and driving more if you were allowed to?
Absolutely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. You trust FSD?
I would still keep my eyes on the road. Not gonna be like right now. Did you just take it out of FSD?
I may have. I touched the brake. I didn't hear it disengage though.
I did.
Okay.
That's why I was like.
I wasn't too certain with that car coming at us. I wasn't ready. I still have trust issues.
Asking me if I would trust it. Obviously, you don't trust it.
I don't know that I would be ready just yet. I'm doing 20 and a 15. Okay. It still sees curbside. Let's see where it takes us. That's right. I chickened out, guys. The unprotected left turns are the hardest for me. We did do curbside. It looks like it's taking us curbside. Kind of cool.
I wonder if it will just keep circling until you hit the brakes. Like, you're waiting at the airport to pick somebody up. It's just going to take us around to the stop.
I don't know.
I would assume stop because it has an ending on. I wonder if you could do that. If you turn on FSD at an airport, will it just keep circling you? Or will it get you out of the airport?
I think it would park at some point because you do have to choose select a parking, and it'll default to 1.
That's a mode I think that they're going to need is airport mode. Like, you're going to pick somebody up.
I think it'll be sweet.
They're not there yet. So it's like, hey, like I'm at an airport, just circle me through until my friends, whoever I'm picking up is.
It does kind of look like this is just going to take us in a circle, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fun, and we have to find out.
Kind of like that parking lot or the parking garage that one time.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just let it go. Where's it going to take us?
This is interesting. I thought that by selecting curbside that maybe it would just stop us at the terminal there. I didn't really put the terminal as the actual end point, I suppose. There's the tower. If I chose the parking lot, it would go to the parking lot. But I think since I did curbside and I didn't really select an address at the curb, it's just going to go in circles, which is kind of cool.
Yes. Okay, I think like the real test is, will it continue to circle again?
I think so. I think this is,
basically
yeah.
It does have an airport mode.
Yeah.
It probably recognizes that it's in an airport, and it's just going to keep looping until you hit the brake.
Yep. Yep, it's just creating this loop again. So the question is how could we make it stop there by using FSD?
It might not let you because it's an airport. Kind of like how drones have the rules in them. If they recognize that they're somewhere they're not supposed to fly, they won't fly.
I think that's a dangerous assumption to make, but a good question to ask. I think it's a good question to ask. Okay, there are people crossing here. All right. But yeah, we are basically in airport mode. We're in loop mode. Grandma just landed. She's not off the plane yet. She's waiting for her bags. You don't want to park. You just want to circle. We're in circle mode.
I like it.
Yeah. Kind of interesting. All right. Well. Why don't we go to supercharge? How about that? All right. Do we need to? I think it's going to take us there now.
Yeah, it's picked the
Yeah.
supercharger as the next destination.
We'll remove the airport here in a minute. Well, that's pretty cool, actually.
Yes. I like that. I think another test would be like back at home and seeing how it responds at Sky Harbor.
Yep, I think that is valid, and we should definitely try that.